out here for this important match for them. One they have to win. Conlon, Egan, French, Lorimer, Hall, Martin, Soden, Moore, Fairley, Toole, Sinclair, McPhail. In for Tony Ray. The skipper today is Jarvis. Plenty of colour here at North Sydney Oval with a band and cheer squad in the famous Bob stand.
Yes, the Killarney Heights High School Concert Band. Craig Benjamin is the bandmaster, 60 of them between the age of 12 and 17, and it's a fantastic band it is too. Go Craig. The Raiders make their way onto North Sydney Oval. After a very heavy representative season, they've still come up with a big lineup of Belcher, Martin, Meninga, Wood, Ferguson, Daly and Stewart. The forwards Clyde, Coyne, Lance, Lazarus, Walters and Woods. Brent Todd, of course, on test duties in New Zealand. The new Australian captain, announced after Wally Lewis broke his arm, Nels McPhail is also the skipper of the Australian side Wednesday against the Frenchman.
Scene is set for our State Bank match of the round. Bill Harrigan in charge of the match. It is going to be a tough afternoon for North Sydney. Looked to be offside from the kick-off too. Belcher. Tackled about 12 out from his own line. Clyde. Straight into action and put down very quickly. Lazarus. Stood for a while, 3 defenders on him. Pushed back inside the 22. Woods. Brent Todd on duty with those Kiwis against Great Britain. Daly. 5-8 today and 5-8 now next Wednesday night against France with Lewis out. He loses the football. The Bears on the attack in the early minutes. Fairley. Blindside for Jarvis. The veteran with the responsibilities as skipper. Camp themselves inside the 22 in possession now. Switch of play. Conlon down blindside. Last tackle against North Sydney. That's where they are, 12 out. The bomb midfield will fall in about the same area. And I think it's Stewart who will come up with a 10 out. Martin. Paul Martin, that is. Lazarus. How do you see this one, Billy Anderson?
I think it's going to be a good game, Graham. North Sydney are a much better side at home than when they're away. They won 5 straight up until last week. A pretty ordinary effort against St George, and they'll want to arrest that.
Stewart. On their home ground, the chance maybe of an upset. Bouncing away from Conlon. Good chasing from Woods and Coyne. Ferguson was down there also with Daly.
Well, I hope the North Sydney team take note of the kick that Belcher just put in for his side. Then it bounced well away from Conlon. He had to run towards it. They've got to do the same for Belcher. They can't dare put the ball anywhere near him and bring it back.
Fairley. Gets it over halfway. Back for Soden. Over the head of Martin. Trying to step down the wing. He beat Egan. Belcher for Stewart. Daly wants it quickly out wide. Wood. Ferguson, the dummy half. Away for Lance. Meninga with his first touch. And a run. Head down, the crowd warm to his little charge. Stewart.
Geez, that's a big kick.
Well away from Conlon. Bouncing out toward the sideline. And over it. So on the end of a torpedo, an off break from Stewart.
Well, I estimate that kick's on as close as down at the 70 metres. That's a horrendous kick to put in. Taken play to within about 8 metres of the North Sydney line.
The breeze favouring Canberra. Still certainly gave that ball plenty of chances. He got it miles into the air. Soden. 10 out from their own line. He went to take off again and Lance just threw him down. Egan. McPhail. Whilst North Sydney might have struggled with St George. Penalty comes for the Bears now. Canberra struggled last week against Western Suburbs.
Yes, they have indeed struggled. They have worn the brunt of the heavy representative season. But North certainly will be keen to get back on the rails after the mishap last week. Just inside the Canberra half. And Jarvis. Straight ahead. The only way he knows how. This is Soden. Weaving his way through and very nearly got through. Got it back for Jarvis. Jarvis looking for his winger. It came off a Canberra player. The tackle can't restart, but no, Canberra have come up with the football. Somehow or other, Ferguson was able to get in there and find the ball. So the Raiders inside their own quarter. Coyne. Penalty's going to go the Raiders' way. Just refused to let him go. So Stewart will look for touch. He finds it about 7 or 8 metres away from the halfway mark. Walters with the restart. This is Lazarus. Straight into the North Sydney defence. Stewart. Woods. Held by Sinclair. That's back for Coyne. Lance is with him. Lance on a good run. Up towards the quarter line.
And a good tackle from Soden at the end of that to put Lance down.
With Stewart. Now for Daly. Long pass to Daly. This is Meninga. Meninga's got it away for Belcher. Belcher looks for Woods. Away it goes to Martin. Martin up to the quarter line before he's finally put down. Daly again. Back for Meninga. Meninga still going strongly. Put down on the 5th tackle. Only about 8 metres away from the North Sydney line. Stewart will bomb. Hanging up in the in goal. That's a great kick. Canberra still have it. No, North Sydney come up with it.
Yes, that one nearly brought rain. It was so high, absolutely mountainous kick. There it was, and very, very well taken there by the North Sydney player.
So the Bears weather that storm. Now Hall will play it just 10 metres away from his own line. Toole. Fairley. No score between North and Canberra. This is the last tackle now for the Bears. Back to Soden. Away from Belcher, which is what they need to do. Now Belcher still able to make some progress. Ferguson's there to back him up. Checker Ferguson straight up the middle.
Magnificent.
How easily they can make ground, the Canberra Raiders. Stewart. Now Clyde. Meninga was there. A one-handed pass back for Woods. Matthew Wood put down 32 metres away. Stewart. Now Daly. Daly got it back for Belcher. Some room for Belcher to move. Over the quarter line. Support from Stewart. Ferguson is with Stewart. He won't need him. Ricky Stewart in to score an excellent try for the Raiders. Gee, they're a classy looking side, aren't they?
No doubt about it. Absolutely great, that try. Stewart showed there that he can run, but he can put the head down and go. There's Meninga, stands in a tackle like a forward, offloads with one hand, Wood was upended midfield from this play the ball. The ball comes right across field to the left. Woods gets it away, out to Stewart, who'd regathered his position fairly smartly, on to Daly. Daly ran beautifully and then turned it back into Belcher. This man split the defence, went straight upfield, got it back to Stewart. They all hung off Stewart, expecting him to give it to Ferguson, and Stewart went through the gap and scored a very neat try. So, from ground level, you can see the speed of the passing. Now watch Daly's pass back on the inside. Beautifully, he realises he's tackled. Belcher puts the accelerator down, goes as hard as he can, gives the pass out from the outside to little Stewart. And Stewart, well, very casually, I thought, and very easily, scores the try.
His 4th try for the year, Ricky Stewart, the State Bank player profile. And Matthew Wood, with the conversion attempt, he's only kicked 4 goals in the top grade this year. This is about 2 or 3 long.
That might be all he kicks with the season.
That was a horror kick. But the Raiders lead North Sydney 4-0.
Beware, don't be taken by imitations.
The length of that pass.
Massive pass of about 25 metres from Stewart, but the kick from Daly was unsuccessful. Moore. Soden. Daly was waiting for him up the middle of the ruck. Jarvis. Florimo. Trying to step 2 of the best, Clyde Meninga. McPhail down a short blindside. Meninga, who had picked himself off the ground, looked to be inside the 5 metres. Last tackle. French kicking out wide for David Hall to chase down to Belcher, who was going to let it go dead and come back with the tap to the 22.
Yes, I don't think there was a whole lot of point behind that kick. Not that deep. It didn't put Belcher under any pressure for the Canberra side.
The ball has just gone back to North Sydney at the moment. Steve Walters waits for the ball to be kicked back to him. Lazarus. They need a few more points, though, Bill, in this first half with the breeze.
Well, they'd be happy with the way they're playing, Canberra, but they wouldn't be totally happy with the scoreboard. I think that it's a game where you get the feeling down here that they seem to think they've got within their grasp. But North Sydney are hanging in there. I just think the Bears are a little bit too predictable. They don't have a lot of support play getting the ball up the field, and when they get into Canberra's quarter, they're resorting to the bomb. I just think they're going to have to break their game up a little bit, North, to beat this Canberra defence.
Stewart. Belcher. Clyde out wide, grabbed by the jumper. Important tackle there from Jason Martin. He was gone. Stewart thought about a little chip for a moment and is tackled on the last tackle right on halfway. Passage of play psychologically that might just help North Sydney. It's been obvious, as Bill was saying, that they've been running one out. Jason Martin.
Well, he did the wise thing then. He didn't get the ball properly into his hands there, Martin, and he obviously intended to pass it. As soon as he wobbled in his hands, he went on his own.
Willie Moore. So, Martin. Florimo. Bringing Conlon in. Went across his shoulder the pass. And difficult for Hall out over the sideline.
Yes, I thought that was a bit of a hectic pass there. He tried to cut out 2 men, or that was the way the attempt looked. But it went nowhere near Hall, and Hall had to try to half volley it. It wasn't on.
Daly. Meninga takes the tackle of French very casually. Matthew Wood for Paul Martin. Down the far touchline he travels with Daly now in support. On the inside, now outside.
Thankfully, Daly had overrun him there from North's point of view. Otherwise, it would have been a try in the corner.
Coyne. Meninga. Quick hands. Belcher into the back line. Tackle by McPhail. Steve Walters. 6 more tackles. Ferguson. Lance to settle things down for the Raiders. More than that, he nearly scored himself. Coyne goes without it. Nobody was sure who was going to get it. Lazarus retreats for it. Kicks to the in goal, but everybody was asleep to the possibility of that. And Lazarus has to chase himself. Florima. 5 metres out from their own line, Norths. In the end, they did well to hang on there. Fairly.
It's very noticeable the speed of the respective play the balls. The North Sydney players are taking a lot longer to play the football.
Jason Martin with a little hole up the middle. Soden. Bouncing back towards Belcher. Once Ferguson, you heard the call come in. He gets it to halfway. The Raiders are on their way back again.
That was well picked up by Clyde. Now Meninga across the base of the ruck.
How many times has he done that today? Chicken whiz, he's like stands out there like a behemoth.
Clyde again. Always threatening to make a break. Now Coyne got support from Wood. Stewart. Now Daly. Matthew Woods was there. The pass is back inside for Belcher. Belcher's got support from Stewart. Stewart, a pass to Belcher, who picked it up and then tried to fool everybody.
It did remarkably well. It shows very quick thinking and a great intelligence to be able to do that. See the way he scooped the ball up and then bang down at Webb. But of course, it was a tiny wee knock-on. And I thought Stewart really bombed that try. I thought he was just a wee bit greedy there.
So the North Sydney feed. 2-1, the scrums favour the Bears at the moment. Make that 3-1. Fairly. Penalties are dead set even. 2 each. Now Moore. Just outside their own 22, the Bears. 4-0. Canberra Raiders leading. They've certainly been a far superior side than that score would indicate. Martin. Again down for Belcher. They're asking for trouble. This time the defence is able to get to him. Daly.
The handling is quite exceptional.
Meninga, a little half break before he gave it away to Martin. Now Clyde. Over the halfway mark. With Stewart. Inside it was for Lazarus and Coyne. Stewart again. Daly. Belcher is in there. Matthew Wood. Stepped nicely. Straight up the middle, Wood. Walters is there to back him up. Walters found Lazarus. Lazarus over the quarter line. Still going. The one-handed pass back inside. I think it was for Walters. Last tackle signalled. Walters will play it 10 metres out. Stewart, a field goal attempt is good. So Ricky Stewart puts the 1 point up.
Well, obviously 1 point is very valuable to any side at this stage. They're only leading 4-0. That makes it 5-0. And with about 12 minutes to go to the half-time break, they've got fairly good command of this game.
Conlon with the restart for North Sydney. Trapped by Clyde. Continue to move up very strongly, this Canberra side. It was Lazarus. Stewart for Daly. Daly looks for support. The pass has out been picked up by Ferguson. Ferguson out of one. The Bears have held the football for 21 tackles in the opponent's half, just 16 for Canberra. Doesn't seem quite right. Here's Clyde. Last tackle signalled against the Raiders. Conlon is down there to pick this up, just 10 metres away from his own line. Pull down on the quarter line.
Well, Sydney to bring it away, and those statistics are probably right because of the fact that a lot of the Canberra attack has sprung from their own side of halfway. Some long breaks. Certainly had 4 or 5 really good try-scoring opportunities. Moore, much better play from a forward to support his teammate, but in the end he copped a heavy serve from Daly. Last tackle against Norths. Soden. He's going to have trouble getting this kick in. What an important handover for Canberra inside North's territory. He's looking for a quick play of the ball.
The third consecutive tackle by Daly there around the ruck area. He's in great form.
Here's Belcher now off Meninga. How quickly they read it to get it out wide. Coyne. Across the ruck for Belcher. Meninga. Clyde is there. Sinclair. Important and a vital tackle that on the big centre from Canberra. Coyne. Steve Walters. Knocked down. It'll be 6 more tackles. Meninga was held back. No advantage at all for Canberra.
Yes, in the State Bank replay, see Meninga there in the background trying to get to the football, and Sinclair, I believe it was, had hold of his jersey.
Replacement for North, number 6, Jason Martin.
So there'll be a tap restart. Martin's off, Bill, replacement.
Yes, he's taken a pretty serious knock, Graham. I don't know whether they're going to try and headbin him or not. I'll just try and check that one out for you, and I'll get the replacement as well.
All right, I think Steve McGowan is out there for Norths. David Woods head down, stretching out just a couple of metres away. Daly, Meninga, knocked down by Norths. Well, it was knocked down by the Bears, but Harrigan missed it.
Yeah, Harrigan had all the players between he and the ball. I think he just was unsighted.
Toole, led off for the Bears.
They've got to go together in 2s or 3s when they run. It's useless this one out running against a good side like this with a strong defence.
Apparently Jason Martin is in the headbin. McGowan is out there. Soden. Martin. Big straight line from North Sydney. Stewart for Lance. Belcher calls for a switch of play. Every time he's touched, he's threatened to go right through. Steve Walters unloads well for Lance. Clyde from a standing start. For all the breaks that Canberra have had, Norths are still hanging in there well. Coyne. Crowd claiming that he was probably held for long enough. Meninga just reverses play. Right up the middle, steamrolls over the top of McPhail. He did enough, though, to knock him off balance. Lance off Belcher. Lance has got support inside and out. Martin will score. Yes, he did. The cover defence couldn't get to him. He had an option outside and inside. It might have been line ball, the final pass.
Yeah, I believe it was a forward pass, but we'll see it again. Certainly the execution of it was first class. This Belcher is a freakish player. He runs as a 5'8" so many times. Got it away to Lance. This is the pass that I was concerned about. I thought it went about half a metre forward out to Martin. Martin goes in without really any great difficulty at all. But this man, Belcher, is creating absolute havoc in this North Sydney side. Nobody can seem to lay a hand on him. When you get that sort of situation, and he makes so much ground and he's so quick, it's very, very hard. But there's the try scorer, Martin, age 23, a plumber, and joined the Canberra club in '85.
2 tries this season for Martin. Norths were hanging in, but now they're looking down much more unpleasant scoreline. 2 goals for Daly this season. Make that 3. Terrific kick from wide out. Canberra now lead North Sydney by 11 points to 0.
Much of this first half under immense pressure from Canberra. The Raiders are just 10 metres out from their own line. Lance instrumental in setting up the previous try. Now Lazarus. It's with Stewart. Clyde.
The speed of their play the balls is dramatically different to that of North Sydney. Bear, you notice the way that Canberra always look to have a roll on. They always look as though they've got the opposition going backwards. There's just no time for the North Sydney defence to get up so quickly.
Ricky Stewart's done it again.
Oh, well, he's done it all through the match.
Beautiful kick from Stewart.
You want my job, allocating the man of the match?
So Stewart finding touch and forcing the scrum about 15 metres out from the North Sydney line. Soden finally gets a chance to put the football in. And he's held 15 out from his line. Florimo is able to get it back to Egan, who's very close to the touchline. Both sides have kicked 11 times in general play. And Soden and Fairley. Pass to no one. Conlon is able to... No, he can't pick it up. So the referee's going to call for a knock-on.
What did the referee see? Well, he saw the player lose possession. I'm not so sure there was a knock-on there, but it was certainly a messy situation. But now the upshot of it is that Canberra come out with the scrum feed.
He's ruled the knock-on, but the scrum won't get a chance to go down because he's seen something in the scrum that makes him want to give a penalty to North Sydney, and it's against Steve Walters.
He's got Walters on that occasion for not packing square on.
Meninga asks the question.
Well, they're very rare scrum penalties.
They are, aren't they?
Very rare. Very rare. One has to question perhaps the referee that awards a scrum penalty these days.
As we all know, you can always find something in a scrum if you really want it.
Well, you all know that no hookers ever cheat.
That's right. Now the Bears via Jarvis. Just inside the Canberra half with Soden to Billy Moore. Able to pop the pass up for Fairley. Lazarus brings him down. Soden again. Toole. Soden. It's time for Florimo. Florimo's found the gap. Reaches the 22 before he's finally grounded.
I've been waiting for Florimo to come alive. His strong running might just trouble Canberra if he can do enough of it.
I think that may have been the first clean bust. The kick through. Belcher is back there. And Canberra come up with possession. The ball just bounced right away from Belcher. Now, Daly. David Woods. I think that little break from Florimo was the first clean bust that North Sydney have made in this half.
Yes, I think you're right.
Dean Lance, just short of the 22. Through Stewart. And Bradley Clyde. Back to Stewart again. Gives it to Belcher. Conlon takes it cleanly, no problems. Daly takes him. Paul. Can't find a way through there. Now McPhail. Soden comes in to go dummy half. A little kick and chase from him. Belcher is back there. Belcher picks it up cleanly, no problems. Now Ferguson. Again, he very nearly found a way through, Chicka Ferguson. But the siren sounds and brings an end to the first half. And Canberra go to the break, leading North Sydney by 11 points to 0.
As we start the second half. 113 tackles made by North. Sinclair and Jarvis in the forwards leading the way. Woods, David Woods and Steve Walters 17 and 16. Only one less made by the Raiders. But that tells something of a story of this State Bank big game. 17-1. The missed tackle score could have been bigger. Billy Anderson has made his way to the dressing room. What's the report, Bill?
No changes, Graham, but Jason Martin won't be coming back. He's heavily concussed. Timmy Sheens thought that was the best 40 minutes that Canberra have played in the last month, even though they didn't finish off. Steve Martin gave particular attention to his side's backline defence and earmarked Gary Belcher. He thinks they've got to keep their eye on him, and boy, don't they.
Sure do. Every time he comes in, the Raiders go somewhere. Test number 1 in the green and gold. 40 minutes left for the Bears to do something special. Fairly. We said it in the first half, and it certainly needs repeating that in the forwards they've got to hunt together. In possession, that is. They've got to support the man running with the football. Jarvis. That is certainly like the first half. He ran alone. So does Sinclair. Shoulder charge finishes him off over the top from Meninga. Toole. The shadows are making life difficult for players, fans and cameramen. Straight across field from Conlon. Now, if Ferguson can do something, there's nobody really at home. Well, it beats everybody over the touchline. Smile from Ferguson.
Well, that's cardinal sin as far as I'm concerned. I might be old-fashioned in my football views, but anyone that kicks to the open wing with a man like Ferguson on it has got to have rocks in his head.
Turned out all right for him. He never meant it to be there. Way off the side of the boot. Daly. Belcher's in again. Nearly out to halfway. Clyde quickly from the scrum and on the blind side cops some treatment. Lance. He had a strong first half in the forwards for the Raiders, made a number of breaks. Lazarus. Coyne. Unloads beautifully. Good football from Coyne. Walters takes it inside the quarter. Last tackle. Stewart. Midfield bomb for Conlon. Only one that went up for it. He took it well.
State Bank replay shows Conlon not under a lot of pressure there. Daly coming in, but wasn't anywhere near him. But that was a good take by Conlon.
Lance is receiving some treatment downfield as Jarvis hits it up to the back of the kidneys. Some magic spray, and he rejoins the defensive line. You'll have to tackle Fairley. Lucky he was back there because Fairley busted through. Soden, mile of time to get his kick in. He thought about it and made sure that he kicked away from Belcher. But when you do that, you've got another headache in Ferguson. Beats one, beats two. Toole manages to grab him by a jumper. Clyde.
Clyde seems to have an extra gear to go to any time he's going to take the ball up through what you'd call a solid defence. He just charges ahead and then changes down a gear and goes again.
Lazarus. Coyne. The difference between the two sets of forwards as they support each other. Daly, quick hands and good hands. Beautiful play out to Wood. Great tackle from Florimo. Daly for Belcher. At times, they look like basketballers. Back for Daly. Kicks ahead. Ferguson's there. Clyde storming through. Ferguson! Try to Canberra. Harrigan checks with both touch judges. Ferguson's got it. Crowd don't like it at all.
Well, the head-on shot will tell us certainly the lead-up work to it was absolutely magnificent. Daly here, the little kick wasn't the ideal sort of a kick, but he got it into the in-goal area. Now watch Ferguson. Well, did he? The referee says he did. There was the change of direction, going back to blindside Daly. The quick hands out to Belcher. He makes a good break, a good incisive break. Gets the pass away there to Daly. Daly's on the surge again, that little kick. And we can only assume that the referee, who was very adjacent, has a good quick look and sees, and you can't really get any closer than he was on that occasion. Now we'll show you an aerial shot. This is right up from the big crane at the southern end of the ground. Daly again. Of Belcher that was. Now Daly, the little kick, goes into the in-goal area. The race is on. Look at Ferguson. Does he get the ball down? Well, Harrigan has to tell us the story, and he says yes.
9th try for the alarm technician at age 35, if that's what we have to believe, as some say. Daly. Unsuccessful. But Canberra have started on the right note in the second. Stanza 15-0. Soden up the middle for Toole. It was read by Lazarus, who chopped him low. French. Trying to get up quickly. Soden. Fairly. Grabbed it at the second attack. Wasn't tackled. The pass was fair. Billy Moore tackled after he kicked it. 6 more tackles. North Sydney have got it.
Well, the referee's
now a Canberra penalty.
The referee's not taking any notice of the appeals or the... oh, well, he's even compounded the error at the North Sydney side by saying something to him.
Well, it's interesting. The touch judge report will probably go against Canberra.
We're looking at the replay again, but I'm afraid that didn't clear the air for me all that much.
Well, the touch judge is calling over David Woods.
Well, it would be the first time in the match that Woods has swung and missed. Perhaps it would have been some other player on the side. Let's see it again. It's only a pull down, really. I don't think there was any malicious intent with the tackle, the high tackle.
Don't like it because they feel that the penalty should have gone the other way for Moore interfered with after he kicked it. Stewart for Lazarus. So the Bears' best opportunity goes missing. Belcher. Woods. Bustling run into North Sydney territory. Long passes again in the back line. Meninga showed it to Daly. Bounced off one. Stood in a second. Unloaded for Coyne. They really are doing what they like out wide. Knock on. Bill Harrigan says we'll scrum it down.
Badly played ball there by Coyne. You can see that he was in all sorts of trouble. He didn't actually... there was a slight knock on a dummy half too, incidentally, but he didn't play the ball all that well.
The scrum was on the halfway mark. Billy Moore picked it up at the scrum base. Now, if the Bears can just get something going, it will not only please their fans, but it may get a bit of starch back into this football game, which has lacked some intensity in the last 10 minutes or so. Fairly.
Well, to be very honest, Ian, I've not seen a team play so well and only be leading by 15 points. They appear to be playing well enough to be leading by 15 or 20 or 30 points.
Yeah, I agree with that. Now, French has made the cardinal sin at the dummy half position, knocking it on. So another scrum will go down. About 35 out from the Canberra line.
Illawarra 24, Penrith 6, and Australia 33.
He's gone with the scrum feed. Referee Harrigan wants it again. Big glary out in the middle there with the sun sinking. Now Stewart. Held by Florimo. Clyde. Here's Dean Lance again. It's right on the halfway mark. Wood. David Woods. Stewart. Daly. Daly. Still going. Finally held, 32 out. The last tackle for the Raiders. Stewart looking for that touchline. Finds it about 10 metres out.
Yeah, well, a fairly conservative kick from Stewart on this occasion. He only makes about 20 metres, but very casually done, very neatly done. Takes play to about 10 metres to the North Sydney line. It'll be a North Sydney feed. They're all shielding their eyes against this lowering sun at the moment. Fale's not able to get his head in. They're all set now.
So Snowden works the scrum. Comes away with it. Conlon came in from the fullback position to back him up. Nowhere for him to go. Snowden again, fairly. Florimo. Daly's there to take him. Now Jarvis. 32 out from the North Sydney line. Back to Snowden again. Belcher. Over his shoulder, takes it well. French is there to take him though. And a few times that Belcher hasn't really been able to get free of the first defender. Stewart. Looks like Gary Larsonville getting set on the sideline.
Yes, wearing number 41, Bruce Sinclair to come off.
Now here's Ferguson. Threading his way through. Lazarus. Got it back for Clyde. Now for Stewart. Now here's Daly again. One-hander for Martin. Martin with some room to move and some support. Meninga gets to the corner line. Daly is there. The little kick ahead from Daly. It'll sit up and Stewart came flying through. But the penalty's going to go to the Raiders. Yeah. Daly was knocked down after he kicked it.
Well, Daly's got a penalty here. How bad it was, the replay, the State Bank replay will tell you. It was certainly, well, there was a little minor trip there, perhaps. Nothing terribly damaging. The penalty will go to the Canberra side. There's Larson on the field now.
Larson for Sinclair. The touch judge giving his report as Sinclair leaves the field.
Number 10, Bruce Sinclair is replaced by number 41, Gary Larson.
The lectures have been given. And the Raiders will just take the tap, see what they can do. Woods takes it up to about 3 metres away from the line. Now here's Lazarus. That's the line you see there, so very close. Walters tried to burrow his way through, and I think he may have got there. He has. Steve Walters rewarded for a very busy second half with a try.
State Bank replay will show it. particularly the head-on shot. Well, does it? It's very hard to see. Well, he's got the football down there. I think the referee might have been a little bit indulgent with the amount of time he took. There was the charge by Lazarus to start with, and from the play the ball from Lazarus, only about a metre from the line, Walters goes very low. Got that driving position, very low trajectory to go forward. Watch him surging straight at the line, but the referee has had a good long look and sees that he gets the ball down the other side. But I tend to agree that I might have been in a position that, had I been the referee there, of saying held in goal.
Well, he's awarded the try. It's his first try for the season. And another change, Bill.
Canberra change. It's going to be Steve Mills in 24 taking the place of Dave Woods.
It looked like there was a North Sydney player making an exit too, Bill. Adrian Toole, I think it was. And he's been given 5 minutes in the sin bin. So Belcher. He's going to try his hand and does it successfully. So the Canberra Raiders now going to lead us 21-0 over the North Sydney Bears.
Where the player was given a lot of time. I believed he was held in a tackle, and then he gave a second effort and was awarded the 4-pointer, but Toole contested it.
So he's got 5 minutes apparently. Mills. Just outside his own 22. Coyne. Meninga. Flick. Back for Steve Walters. They've been struggling in recent weeks. No real struggle at all today. Lazarus. Lance. Powerful first half. He was injured early in the second. Stewart for Belcher to step. David Woods. Last tackle against Canberra. They stay on a blind side. Meninga and Belcher. Belcher stepping beautifully. Support on the inside. Stewart gets his second. He'll score next to the post. They confidently kept raiding down a blind side. Well, Belcher and Meninga.
I didn't believe they had enough room to do all the manoeuvres they did on the blind side there. It's a magnificent try, it really is. There's Meninga holding the pass up, giving it to Belcher. He surges through, swerves up his right foot, then off his left, and unloads a long pass back at the inside to Stewart, who'd backed up. And there's a very good try, an excellent try, really. But I can't believe that they did all that within the 10-yard radius of the sideline. Just astonishing. The running ability of Belcher is unbelievable. He's in superb form. Stewart finishes off the move, but Belcher and Meninga made the try without any shadow of a doubt. But the record book will show that Ricky Stewart scored his second.
Gets 2 more points. 27-0 now, Canberra over North Sydney. And we start to think, Bill, about North Sydney facing up to Canterbury and Cronulla.
Yeah, it was probably the worst thing that could have happened for them here today. After the loss against St George last week, they would have been looking to do something about that and just be competitive, but they haven't been able to contain Canberra at all, and psychologically it's not going to be good going into the tough games ahead.
Can you see them getting through them?
Well, their defensive line's got to improve. It's going to be very hard for them, isn't it? They just haven't tackled strongly enough to be able to put any sort of pressure on Canberra at all. But, mate, let me say this, Canberra have got it all covered. They've got a good defensive line, a terrific kicking game, and class players. And, gee, don't they make the most of the ball when they've got it?
Well, they've done that all season long, Bill, because they've posted 312 points in attack, only 124 against.
And I think the North Sydney players can take a little bit of comfort from the fact that I've seen Canberra go round on a couple of occasions this year, and they've scored 17 and 18 points in the last 7 or 8 minutes. So that's cold comfort indeed.
Cold is an apt word at this time of the afternoon here.
I notice the crowd, or plenty of the crowd, have given up on the North Sydney side today. In a general exodus, we went from 11,500 down to about 8,000.
Now, Billy Moore working his way up towards the quarter line, trying to get something going for this North Sydney side. Larson. Jewell has made his way back onto the field. McPhail. 10 metres away. This is the last tackle for the Bears. Fairley. Keeping it wide, going out wide with the Hall. And it looks like it's a try, is it? McGowan is there. He was just there in the corner. So at last the band strikes up.
Well, they've got some justification for it. We'll have a look at the straight back replay. We see Florimo move the ball out wide there. There's a bit of a run around. A long cutout pass went from McGowan out to the wing three-quarter Hall. And finally the ricochet comes to McGowan and he's in for the try. There he is with a long pass. That's the man that ultimately scores the try. There's a ricochet there and over he comes and says thanks very much. He scores right in the corner.
So Steve McGowan, who was the fresh reserve. So Conlon from way out wide. Plenty of height. And the direction is perfect. A great kick from Paul Conlon from on the touchline. So the Raiders go to a lead at 27, but North Sydney now 6. Daly with the restart. Conlon can't take it cleanly. Larson has it. Now Fairley. Caught by Lazarus and Coyne. Jarvis. Again, Lazarus making the tackle. Soden. Larson crawling along, trying to get past Meninga. Tool. 5 tackles gone for the Bears. Soden put it in the air.
Good father who caused any problems for Belcher.
Belcher just 10 metres away from his own line. Brings it back to the quarter. Ferguson is in there at dummy half. The Stewart. Now Mills. Walters again on his own.
He's made a lot of those little dashes from dummy half and most of them very successful.
Lazarus, a little dash down the blind. Meninga dummy half for Stewart. And then Daly. Belcher is in. Matthew Wood over the halfway mark and some room to move. Belcher following him through. So was Ferguson. Ferguson running strongly. Still trying to go. He's got support back from Belcher. Oh, that's a try.
Was he tackled?
Well, I believe he was tackled there. I think, the definition of a tackle, a player can be tackled in the field of play. And if the hand or arm holding the ball or his forward progress is stopped, he's doomed to be tackled. Now, watch it again and see. It's magnificent to look at. I'm not arguing against all the... We're only arguing technicalities here because there's a large score against the North Sydney side. But any side should abide by the rules. Now, we've got Ferguson here. Is he tackled at this stage? Yes, I believe he is. He's down on the ground and he was held. So, that's a try to Belcher, but it only has to be a momentary thing. If there comes a moment when he cannot pass or play the ball, or the hand or arm holding the ball come in contact with the ground, he's tackled. Now, I'm sure you'll agree that that takes place at this point. Here he is. At that point, he's tackled. No question about it, if you're going to follow the rule book. So you made a blunder, Mr. Harrigan.
Well, Belcher touches down for his 10th try of the season, and he becomes the leading Canberra try scorer.
Number 19, Michael Twigg.
He's in outstanding form, and some changes, Bill.
Stuart Stanton in 17 for Canberra, along with Michael Twigg in 19, and 2 men coming off with big commitments Wednesday night, Daly and Meninga.
Well played.
Indeed.
Belcher with the conversion attempt of his own try. It's there. So that scoreline increases for the Raiders. It's now 33-6 over the poor old Grizzlies. Changes now been made with Belcher coming from the field. And Phil Carey going on to replace him. Outstanding performance from Belcher. North Sydney just have not had any answers to this Canberra machine. Here's French making a break And Conlon was taken out of the play by Martin. The referee saw it, the touch charge is in, and Martin's been given 5 minutes in the sin bin.
And you can see it clearly there. He was held by the jumper in the State Bank replay. Martin's the transgressor. He's been dismissed from the field for 5 minutes, so he'll come back for the last couple.
So an opportunity for the Bears to put another try on the board. Toole. Now Jarvis, of course, with Martin in the sin bin. That'll be all we'll see of him today, with less than 5 remaining. Soden. Soden ducked under one and will score. I think he should. No, he's just short. Just short of the line, Mark Soden. Playing it forward, can't get there. Penalty's going to go North Sydney's way.
Yes, the referee is claiming that he was held back. Soden's the man. Now watch it. He plays it forward. Now obviously he's held back. Quite obviously. I think that must have sounded very stupid coming out of my lips. He looked as though he was held back, didn't he?
So the Bears again get another opportunity. Just a couple of metres away. Toole from dummy half.
Trying desperately for a bit of traction with his feet there, but he couldn't get on him.
He's come out for Fairley. Fairley should be able to get the ball down. He can. So David Fairley scores the 4 points for North Sydney.
Here it is on the State Bank replay. The big dummy, the big sidestep off the right foot, the great effort he puts in to get the football down. And there it was. See it again on the head-on shot, which will give us a clearer idea of just what he did with the football. A lot of effort gone into this one. These are tough tries to get. These are the hard yards, and that was it. He's got the football down. Good try to Fairley.
McGee and French should be given some credit too for giving him a bit of a push to help him across the line. His 5th try for the year, David Fairley. And Conlon, 10 metres in from touch as this cold wind starts to blow. Conlon had a magnificent kick from the touchline on the other side. This is not so flash. To the right. But it's 33-10, Canberra over the North Sydney side for the Raiders. French can't take it cleanly. Fairley is there to pick it up. It's 12 metres away from the North Sydney line. Toole on the quarter line. They're the fellows who've been given the early break, all having a well-earned rest, and they'll be all wearing the green and gold come Wednesday night. Now, Florimo's made a big bust for North Sydney. The kick ahead is there. It's going to bounce for Johnny Ferguson. Tigger Ferguson was back there to lend a hand. Florimo's kicked it through. The tackle count will restart. Dean Lance content to hang on to it and will play at about 18 metres from his own line. He took a heavy knock in that tackle.
Yeah, that was a good moment for North Sydney. The players looked as though they might get on the board with a break, but it wasn't to be. Canberra defence too strong.
Now Stewart on his own quarter. The dying moments of the game. Lazarus with about 60 seconds remaining in the match, taking it up. Now Stanton. Well, Walter's very nearly losing his jumper. Stewart again finding touch back on the North Sydney quarter.
I think it's true to say that North Sydney have received a football lesson today. They've not played well themselves, been a little bit slow playing the ball. Their defence has been a bit shaky, and the Canberra side have played just about as well as any football team can play. Actually, I would have thought they might have been 50 points in front the way they played, but they looked beautiful, they looked great, everything was precision. Made 13 errors only in the full match. That's all sorts of errors, but only 13 in total, which is fairly monumental. And there's the way it all worked out. Canberra 33, Stewart 2 tries, Martin, Ferguson, Walters, Belcher tries, Stewart a field goal, Daly a goal, Belcher 3 goals, to North Sydney's 10. McGowan and Fairley scored tries. Conlon kicked the goal. So 33 Canberra, 10 North Sydney.
Yes, Gary Belcher is our State Bank man of the match today, a man who has been in outstanding form all season long. Nice to be coming from the back all the time, but the back line is operating well today.
Backline operating very well. There's a lot of room to move, Graham, but I have to give credit to particularly a couple of the forwards, Glenn Lazarus in defence, and I think Steve Walters attack around the middle of the rucks. He made some great breaks up there and took a lot of pressure off the guys out wide.
Been reading a lot of articles this year. How do you feel about some critics starting to put you in the class of some of the greats of the past, Langlands, Churchill?
It's a bit of a joke, really. I mean, I'm flattered, to tell you the truth. I think there's no way I could really be compared with the guys. They were legends. I'm happy that I suppose the guys could compare me, but I've got a long way to go, I suppose, Graham, to get anywhere near that.
Well, you're playing outstanding. Well played again today from the State Bank, straight into a State one account, $1,000.
Thank you very much. Thanks to the State Bank and Channel 10.
All right, thanks, guys. Well played. Well, as we mentioned, we were going to bring you, or hope to bring you, all the details of the State Bank footy famine. We can't this weekend, but we promise we will have them for you, and all that support of the coaches next weekend.
Certainly signs there today that the Canberra Raiders machine was well-oiled and back in action, eh?
Yeah, we sort of made a pact during the week. We were sort of disappointed in our performance over the last couple of weeks. In particular, we're getting big leads and then sort of fall away and let the other team back into the game. So we're pretty psyched up today to play a big one against North.
Yes, Mal Meninga, we wish him well, the new Australian Test skipper next Wednesday night. Well, there have been some upsets in round 13 of the Winfield Cup. One important match, Western Suburbs at home taking on Canterbury Bankstown. Here's the highlights.
Canterbury's semi-final hopes took another setback today at Campbelltown. The Bulldog defence conceded 5 tries. In a fine display, Jamie Ainscough scored 2 of those tries himself. His second try was just as spectacular. Going down 26-18, the Bulldogs have now lost 4 games on the trot.
That's certainly an outstanding performance from Western Suburbs. Good luck to them. Well, late night league tonight after the movie. Hope you'll join us. We have a program that will just go right through the whole week of all the big news stories in rugby league. The Frenchmen prepare for their test match against the might of Australia next Wednesday. Can they come up with the tactics to contain the green and golds? Wally Lewis, first the hamstring, now a broken arm. He's out of the test and maybe out for the season. And from Palmerston North in New Zealand, Mike Gregory's Englishmen take on Hugh McGahan's Keith.